Coming off the heels of his Rickwood Field post-game interview, MLB legend and Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson was recently in Alabama for an event for his Mr. October Foundation. And during his speech, he recalled a racist experience. Well, no, excuse me, a racist exchange with University of Alabama football coaching legend Bear Bryant. Here's the audio clip. I'll be back with my commentary.
Memory I ever had at Rickwood Field. It's tough to hear if you're from Alabama. At the same time, it came from a friend. He never apologized for it, but he was a friend. I'd hit 2 triples in the game, and I could run like a deer. After the game, the few people were around. Charlie Finley had come to that game. His son, Paul Bryant, was there. Paul Bryant was there. Alf Van Hoos, who was a sports writer here in this town. And Bear Bryant. And I was getting changed, finishing a shower and putting my shirt on. And Bear Bryant walked up to me and paid me a compliment. 1967. And he said to the group, "This is just the kind of nigger boy that we need in order to compete with Bo, Woody, Ara, and Johnny. Johnny Robinson of USC, Ara Parsegian of Notre Dame, Bo Schembechler of Michigan, and Joe Paterno of Penn State." He meant it as a compliment. He said, if we don't get one of these, we're not going to be able to compete with them. And about a few months later, USC came here with Sam Cunningham and beat Alabama 42-10. I got called up to the major leagues, and Bear Bryant came up to Charlie Finley's to Chicago in one of my first games and watched me play my first game. 21 years.
All right. Now, the exchange that Reggie Jackson is referring to, this happened back in 1967 when he was a AA player for the Kansas City Royals AA farm team, minor league team, excuse me. Now, Bear Bryant is very revered in the college football world due to all his wins and national championships, but he definitely had a racist side, because there have been stories from former black Alabama players, also other media sources, that Bear Bryant definitely had a racist streak in him, and he constantly said the N-word. Now, instead of just saying this kind of, this is the kind of boy we need, or man, or young man, he definitely jumps to that N-word, describing Reggie. And Reggie just had one terrific game that day. So, we definitely see how Bear Bryant felt about his black players. And who knows how many times he was saying that word to their faces when he was the head coach of Alabama. And, I get why Reggie didn't really react like he did back then, because, as he said in his Rickwood Field game pregame interview, He said, I would have beat somebody's ass and I'd have been hanging from an oak tree. But it's definitely unfortunate that, you know, a man and a legend like Reggie still has to is telling these stories back then as a minor league player and to a certain extent as a major league player, because he definitely had his success and he had his accolades and a lot of fans loved him. There was still a certain group of fans that had that racist mindset and did not embrace him, and definitely was calling him all type of racial slurs back then in the 70s. So for those who were out there saying that Reggie Jackson is claiming victimhood, he's not claiming victimhood. He's telling history.